Hello, welcome to the string series Beginner Book 1 video lesson. Now I'm going to run through a few of the essential bits that appear at the start of the book very quickly, starting with the guitar anatomy. Now the most important things I think you should learn, rather than learning the whole guitar all at once, all the different parts, it's just a couple of bits. It's these things, the frets, these metal strips that run down, and also these are called tuners or machine heads. I tend to call them machine heads. Now that's only important to learn these bits is because we're going to talk about that quite a lot. Now moving on to from the guitar to you is your hand. This is if you're, we'd say generally right-handed, you're going to be picking with your right hand and fretting with your left. So if you're left-handed, it will be the other hand, but it's just important to know that the fretting hand has numbers and a letter really. It's T for thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now on to the actual picking hand. I use a plectrum and I also tend to use my fingers as well. There are obviously benefits and things that, as a beginner, I'm not sure. You can kind of go with whatever you like. I really like both styles, but you'll get some people who feel that maybe only a plectrum sounds cool or finger picking is the way to go. But for me, I think when you start off, see what feels comfortable. Okay, now on to an important part of playing guitar is making sure you're in tune. Now I've just got one of these little tuners that I pop on my headstock. You get lots of different types. I'm just going to run through tuning very quickly. Now, the actual notes of the guitar, it's important to learn these over time. The thickest string is E, then we've got A, and then D, and then G, and B, and then E again. Now, I'll just turn my tuner on. Now, one thing that I was always taught was it's important to tune up. So for instance, this E string is too tight, so I'd never just loosen it and then say that was fine. I'd always loosen it a little more and tune up until I've got to that E. The same goes with the other strings really. If you find that you're a little sharp, a little too tight, always loosen it more and tune up. I won't tune my whole guitar, I'm already in tune, so we'll move on. One more thing that I talk about quite a lot, comes up in the book a lot, is the metronome. Now, a metronome sounds quite irritating. It sounds like this. Now, you have to use a metronome to practice. That way you develop a sense of timing. People who don't use them often find if they ever play with other musicians, they find it very, very difficult because they haven't developed a good sense of timing. You can generally tell as a teacher, you can tell if a student is using a metronome or not because their timing will improve. Now this is a little Boss metronome that I use. They're relatively inexpensive, but the other thing, you can get apps, so I think some of them are free, so definitely get a metronome. Okay, now next we're going to move on to the tab section of the book.